If you goobers couldn't tell from the last 2 seconds of me speaking, I'm a man. And with that comes some unfortunate side effects, like being unable to cry when I watched Titanic 1997. So you'd think that watching a show about cute girls going on a train ride across Japan would not come close to the lukewarm emotions I felt watching the scene in Titanic where... Jack dies of cold shock. But I've had my fair share of disappointing anime originals during my career as a seasonal anime watcher. But after finishing the first episode of Shumatsu Toren Doko e Iku, which can be translated to Where Will the Doomsday Train Go, but the official localization has opted for Train to the End of the World. What was I talking about again? But this anime made me cry. Almost. I'm still a man, guys. I took a blood test to confirm it. You can trust me. I'm not lying when I say this anime is him. Just for a little context, I hate horror. It's a cheap genre that relies on loud noises to create a scare and offers very little intellectually. Obviously, I'm not saying all horror is like that, but it's just easy for small movie companies to churn out bad horror movies because all you need to do is drag an audio file into your editing software of choice and pump that audio gain up just like sex. That's the end of the joke. Cut to the next point! But there is a certain form of horror that I've taken a liking to, and that's body horror. Yes, I'm scared of bodies. Ladies, do not send me titty pics unless you hate me. By the way, I believe we should revoke women's rights. Body horror not only exposes me to gruesome violations of the human form, but also the human mind. And nothing terrifies me more than inanimate transformations. That episode of Star vs. the Forces of Evil really messed me up, and I didn't even watch it. But imagine not only losing your humanity physically, but mentally as well. Like, uh-oh, I'm a freaking chair now. You don't even have the decency to give me a consciousness so I can experience the many voluptuous booties that are destined to come into direct contact with me. So you can bet all the hairs on your head, unless you're bald, that I really resonated with this new anime. So as much as that capybara looked adorable pulling up, she was once human. Train to the End of the World takes place in a post-apocalyptic future, depending on how far you can stretch the meaning of apocalyptic. The world has been morphed by the invention of 7G technology, by tampering with the laws of physics itself. In the small country town of Agano, the residents born there are destined to transform into a random animal 3 months after they turn 21 years old. And they have it easy because a nearby town got turned into trees, a fear that I picked up from the live-action Cowboy Bebop. That was actually gruesome, and they had the gall to make a cum joke out of it. Now, the residents of Agano still have their humanity intact, but it's clear this won't last forever. In addition, because everyone is an animal now, it's implied that their lifespans have been significantly reduced. And despite the moe girls moeing it up, there's an impending sense of doom, that time is running out, that at some point the town will be thrown into chaos once the predatory animals lose their humanity. Concurrently, the arguably most important girl out of the moe group, Shizuru, is facing her own demons. No one will understand her. No one gets why she lives for what she lives for. But we do, because we saw a flashback. Before the 7G incident, Shizuru got into an argument with Yoka over who knows what. Yoka proceeds to run away from home and hasn't been seen by the Agano community in 2 years. This anime is super chaotic. These characters be spitting and interrupting so much, I can't keep up with the subtitles. Get this anime in English dub. But it's a lot of meaningful spitting, surpassing classics such as Mysterious Girlfriend X. This anime seems like the king of setup. It introduces 3 clear problems, yet only focuses on one of them, teases future conflicts, promises future mind-blowing, perspective-changing, political party-switching lore revelations, and we still have a boatload of flashbacks to get through. I need to know how Shizuru got stuck in a ditch. Oh, and there's also the chance that this adventure could conclude by reverting the damages done by 7G. Because, plot twist, but not really because it's the very first thing that happens, Yoka was unwillingly dragged into being the literal person who unleashed 7G onto the world. But once the sun sets and the girls return home after another energetic day, the show slows down, just for a bit. Shizuru reflects over all the information the show had dumped on us for the last 15 minutes straight. You process quite a bit during this time, and I was genuinely overwhelmed by everything. How isolating it must feel to be the last few humans in a town full of animals. How there's this looming sense of doom as the days fly by, and by the regret that's constantly swelling up inside Shizuru. This anime may be energetic and full of laughs, but there's always this subtle sadness, this weight that every scene carries around with it. And with such an amazing first episode that sets up so much, I'm expecting a payoff that's just as big, if not even bigger. But you know, despite this anime's absolute masculine urge to set up every story strand it can in the shortest possible amount of time, there is one thing it lacks, and that's a good title. How can you call this show Where Will the Doomsday Train Go when it's very clearly implied 13 minutes and 48 seconds into the first episode? It's Ikebukuro. I know the answer, I don't have to watch the series anymore. You absolute fools! You buffoons! No wonder why I have to scroll down 14 rows on Crunchyroll's trending page to even find you. You're literally being beaten by Classroom of the Elite and a salad bowl of eccentric. What the fuck even is a salad bowl of eccentrics? I only learnt of this show to write this gag, what? Wait, they just photocopied volume 1 of Detective Conan and slapped it into the show. This might be good. Oh yeah, this is peak. So in conclusion, A Salad Bowl of Eccentrics is a must-watch of this anime season. You just can't beat a show that's all about one truth prevailing.